The issue is about tax administration for the individual in Malaysia. In Malaysia, individual tax administration is overseen by the Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia or Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri Malaysia or LHDN. Residents are subject to personal income tax, and it's important to file annual tax return, ensure compliance with local tax law, and consider seeking professional advice for specific details related to the current situation.
This is our group members, Afif Akin Nasution, Ahmad Muhaimin, Muhammad Nur Muhyiddin, Muhammad Fizuddin, and last, me, Muhammad Luqman.
As an individual who lives in Malaysia and does earn self-income, Ms. Hanis needs to pay an income tax to Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri. As a taxpayer in Malaysia, Ms. Hanis does have several responsibilities, and this includes filing her tax returns accurately and on time, paying the correct amount of tax based on her income and deductions, keep all the records of her income, expenses, and any relevant financial information for calculation of her tax, cooperating with tax authorities if she is selected for an audit or investigation, the same cases as referred to the articles, report to any changes in her tax status, such as changes in income or marital status, seeking advice from tax profession or tax authorities if she is unsure about any tax-related issues. In this case, Ms. Hanis made a right decision to seek some advice from tax profession since she is unsure about her income tax, which she earns more than 3,000 ringgit a month. Seeking advice from tax professionals or the tax authorities is crucial if she is unsure about any tax-related issues in Malaysia. Tax laws and regulations can be complex, and it is important to ensure that she is complying with them correctly to avoid any potential penalties or legal issues.
Next is self-assessment system. First point is taxpayer responsibilities. Taxpayers in Malaysia have key responsibilities. First, maintain accurate records. Second, calculate tax liability. Third, submit tax returns on time. And fourth, pay taxes promptly to avoid penalties. Now, let's walk through the self-assessment process. First, registration with LHDN. Second, declaration of all income sources. Third, claiming deductions and reliefs. Fourth, calculation of tax liability. Fifth, submission of tax returns. And lastly, review and assessment by LHDN. Benefits and objective. The self-assessment system promotes voluntary compliance, enhances tax administration efficiency, encourages proactive engagement, and ensures fairness and equity. The self-assessment system empowers taxpayers in Malaysia to fulfill their tax obligation responsibly and transparently. Now, moving on to tax return and assessment. Tax return submission. Taxpayers are mandated to submit detailed tax returns annually to the Inland Revenue Board (LHDN), providing vital financial information. Assessment process. Upon receipt, LHDN meticulously reviews submitted tax returns, ensuring accuracy and compliance with tax laws through audits if necessary. Types of assessment. Two assessment types are prevalent, which is first, self-assessment. Taxpayers determine their tax liability subject to LHDN to scrutiny. Second, official assessment. LHDN issues assessment to rectify errors, demanding compliance with determined tax liabilities. Importance of accuracy. Accuracy is paramount to avoid penalties or legal ramifications. Taxpayers must be maintain precise records and cooperate with the HDN for a seamless process. This shows the tax return and assessment process uphold Malaysian tax system integrity. Timely and accurate submissions foster transparency, efficiency, and fairness.
Amending of tax returns. Amending a tax return refers to the process of making changes to a previous filed tax return. Taxpayers may need to amend their tax return if they discover errors, omission, or changes in their tax situation that affect the information reported on their original return. This could include correction to filing status, income, deduction credits, or other relevant information. Next, method of amendment. They have two methods, manual method and e-filing. Next, step of amendment. Obtained from 1040X, the IRS provide form 1040X, which is used to amend a previous filed individual tax return. Each can download this form from the IRS website or obtain it from a tax profession. Moreover, key point of amendment. First, timing. Generally have up to the 2-3 years from the date you file with the original return, or within 2 years from the date they paid the tax.
Next is offences and penalties. There are actually 11 types of offences and penalties. For example, is this in the section of 112 subsection 1, whereby the taxpayer failed to furnish an income tax return form that the amount penalty can reach to RM200 until 20,000, or the taxpayer could imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months, or both, and that is actually one from 11 different types of offences and penalties. These rules and regulations were stated by the government and the HDN, and these penalties are true and fair regarding the situation and offences.
In the context of tax and compliance and the scenario provide, appeals can be important aspect for individuals like Ms. Hanis who have a concern of dispute regarding their tax. Here's how the appeal process generally works. First, understanding the tax assessment. The first step of Ms. Hanis would be to carefully review the tax assessment issued by the Inland Review Board, that is HDN. Second, grounds for appeal. Ms. Hanis should identify any ground on which she believes the tax assessment is incorrect or unjustified. Third, submission of appeals. If Ms. Hanis decides to appeal the tax assessment, she would need to submit a formal appeal to the LHDN. Fourth, review by LHDN. Upon receiving the appeal, the LHDN will review appeal submission and conduct a reassessment Ms. Hanis' tax liability. 5. Appeals Tribunal. If Ms. Hanis is dissatisfied with the outcome of LHDN's review, she may have the option to escape her appeal to the Special Commission of Income Tax or the Appeal Tribunal, depending on the specific procedure and regulation in Malaysia. The last one is resolution. Ultimately, the appeals process aims to provide a fair and impartial resolution to tax dispute between taxpayer and the tax authorities.